You found a potential product and you're ready to start contacting suppliers, although you don't know what an MOQ is and how to use it to its max potential. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly what an MOQ is and how you can use it to your advantage. In my channel, I share my very own Amazon FBA journey, also Amazon FBA tips, and just anything that I'm learning from life. So if you like to follow my journey, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for when I post a new video every week. Hi, my name is Robby. I'm a six-figure Amazon FBA seller that started selling a year ago, and since then, I've been able to gain the freedom to live the life that I've always wanted to. So what is MOQ? MOQ means minimum order quantity. This is the smallest amount that a supplier will allow you to order as the buyer. So I just wanted to show you how to find the minimum order quantity on Alibaba when you're searching a product. I just searched tool set, and the way you find the minimum order quantity is underneath the price right here, minimum order, 1,000 pieces. Over here it shows 70 pieces, and over here it shows 10 pieces, right? And over here it shows 2 pieces and 10 pieces. So I think personally that this is really unreliable and that you should never depend on the minimum order quantity that you see on Alibaba. So it's always best to ask the supplier for their minimum order quantity when you first contact them. And if you don't know how to contact suppliers, I created a video on how to use Alibaba and how to contact suppliers for the first time. If you haven't checked that out yet, it's going to be either above or in the description below. So usually the MOQ is really low and really high for the same product, because usually the really low MOQ, you see the 2 pieces, the 10 pieces, is really low because those are in stock products that they already have most of the time. And what we want to do to create a successful product for ourselves coming into the marketplace for the first time is that we want to make a custom product. We want to improve the already existing product. So we want to use stronger materials, we want to make a bigger size, and we want to create a color that doesn't exist in the marketplace yet. And not usually, for custom products like that, the MOQ is going to be a lot higher. So never rely on these numbers that you see in Alibaba, and always ask the supplier. So why is there an MOQ? So most manufacturers will only manufacture the products as required and when ordered, as it's really inefficient for them to keep high volume of pre-made stock. This also includes raw material. So let's say you want to produce blankets, right? The manufacturers will not have the raw materials in stock, and they will place the order for the raw materials to make the blankets for you as you place the order, because this is the most cost efficient for them. They will not have to take any money out of their own pockets to pay for the raw material. So as you pay for your deposit, that deposit money will pay for the raw materials, and they won't have to have piles of raw materials stocked up in their warehouse taking up space. Also, suppliers only make less than $1 for every single unit that they produce, right? Also, the production takes around 20 to 30 days to produce. And let's say you only want to order 200 pieces, right? So for 30 days of work, they're only going to make $200 profit for their whole company, and it's not worth it for them. Think about it from your end. If you only make $200 for 30 days of work, that's totally not worth it. And so that's why usually suppliers have an MOQ of 2,000 to 3,000 pieces, as the supplier needs to produce a certain number in one go in order for it to be the most cost effective for their business. If you find this video helpful to you so far, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up. It'll really help me a lot. So can you negotiate the MOQ? And the answer is yes. And should you negotiate the MOQ? And the answer is yes for that also, because let's say you only want to order 800 to 1,000 units, and a supplier that you really like has an MOQ of 2,000 pieces. You're going to be out of luck unless you try to negotiate the MOQ with them. So it doesn't hurt to ask them, right? So the worst case scenario is that the supplier just won't be able to work with you. And if you want to work with them in the future and you can order more units later on, then you can work with them later on. It's not going to burn bridges down by you trying to negotiate something with them. This is business in the end. And it's not going to be smart for you to order 2,000 pieces when you want to order 800 pieces just because you got a way lower per unit cost for the 2,000 pieces. Because if you have a filled product, you're going to have hundreds of units stranded in storage. You're going to have to pay storage fees, and you're going to not be able to sell those units. Also, you're going to lose thousands of dollars by you ordering the extra 1,200 units. So what we want to do is that we want to minimize our potential loss by trying to negotiate the MOQ with your supplier. One thing I want to note is that when we inquire quotes for the first time from suppliers, we want to get two prices, a low quantity order and a high quantity order, because when you order a higher quantity, your per unit cost is going to be lower. So let's say, for example, you want to get a quote of a low quantity of 800 units and a high quantity of 3,000 units. And our goal is to be able to order to the low quantity with the high quantities price. So when we are trying to negotiate the MOQ, our goal is to be able to order the requested MOQ with the lower price of the high quantity. How has your experience been so far contacting suppliers for the first time? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. So how do we negotiate the MOQ? There's going to be a few tactics that I'm going to share with you on how to negotiate the MOQ with your supplier. The more professional that you look, the more serious the supplier is going to take you. And I've shared a few tactics on how to negotiate with your supplier in a previous video, and it'll be really helpful to you to get your supplier's best interest. So if you haven't checked that out yet, it's going to be above or in the description below. So the person that you're going to be talking to is just a salesperson. They're going to have to get their boss's approval every single time before agreeing with your proposal. So how do we negotiate the MOQ? Here's how we do it. Let's say the MOQ is 2,000 pieces and you only want to order 800 2,000 pieces, right? So the best way out of this is, let's say you have two variations that you have in mind for potential in the near future. So what you can say to the supplier is, can I order 1,000 units of each variation to make the total of the 2,000 units? And so what you're going to do is just launch two products at the same time. But if you don't want to do that, there are really strong tactics to negotiate the MOQ with your supplier. This really works for me when I talk to my suppliers. So what you can say to them is, you can say that it's our company's policy to always do a test order when working with new suppliers. Then you can say, if everything works out and production's great, we plan to order 1,500 to 2,000 units on the next order. Also, we forecast that this will grow in years 1 and years 2. And then after that, you can say underneath that, we've browsed your catalog and we've seen many product ideas that we would like to pursue in the near future. And then at the bottom, after you say warm regards, Robby, you write PS, we look forward to building a long-lasting relationship with you. And what this is going to say to them is that, oh, this company is looking for their key supplier to work with them in business for years to come. So although they may make very little profit in the first production, this is going to make them think long term, and the salesperson is going to want to try to convince their boss to allow you to order the 1,000 pieces for the first production, because this is going to be a huge potential lead for them to have consistent growing business in the near future. And realistically for you on your end, you're not lying or anything. If everything does work out and you have a winning product, you're going to order more units of that product, and you're going to order more variations of that product in the future. So this works out for both of you. So this is basically a risk for both of you that you're going to take, and this is going to get them to want to work with you with the 1,000 pieces. So last thing I want to note too is that you always want to be kind and friendly with your supplier. This way they're going to want to work with you more, and they're going to want your business even more. If you think about it the other way around, if you work with a supplier that's rude and unfriendly with you, you're not going to want to work with them, right? So think about it like that, and make sure that you make this a partnership where everything's 50-50, where you try to make this more than just business, where you try to grow a relationship with them and try to grow a friendship with them. Because then what this is going to do is that this is going to make the process with both you and them really smooth, and that they're going to want to try to get you great deals in the future, and possibly even now, even though they're working with you for the first time. So that's it. Now you know exactly what an MOQ is and how to utilize it to your advantage with your suppliers. And if you have any more questions, I have a Facebook group where we discuss everything Amazon FBA. So if you'd like to join, the link is going to be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check these two videos out if you haven't already. They'll be really helpful to you, and I'll catch you soon. Take care.